This is a quiet spot. Let's talk here. All right. Here's the secret I've been keeping all along. The torn out pages from the research log of the Office of Forensic Science.
Great! But Paimon can't believe you kept this a secret all this time!
It's not like you think. I wasn't the one who tore out the pages. Look, just read it over first. Finished? Do you see now? The method used by the perpetrator to commit his crime wasn't by putting the white powder in the cold medicine. That's correct. The white powder was Shiroyama's invention. As a forensic doctor, he provided a special cold medicine for Takatsukasa Isamu. The autopsy report showed that this medicine contained a high volume of acidic fruit and vegetable extracts. Then, he tricked Ryuji into sending fish liver paste to Takatsukasa Isamu. When the two substances were taken together, a toxic dose of the substance formed in his body. This is the real modus operandi.
Oh, that's awful! One was medicine, and the other was an expensive nutritional supplement. Both completely harmless.
True, both are harmless on their own, but when combined, poof, that's it. It was not him who wanted to hide it, but the person pulling the strings behind him.
Huh. You mean there was someone else pulling the strings?
Aren't you curious where I found these pages from the research log? It was in Kujo Takayuki's secret warehouse. After I found the missing pages, I did some digging around and found out that Shiroyama had worked for Kujo Takayuki before joining the police station. The Kujo clan secretly provided Shiroyama with funds to study forensic science. I guess you could say that Kujo Takayuki's investment paid dividends in this case. Of course, I had only learned all of this after the Vision Hunt decree came to an end. Kujo Takayuki had lost his grip on power, and the Tenryou Commission was undergoing a general reshuffle. To avoid coming under suspicion, Madame Kujo Sara put me in charge of building a case against Kujo Takayuki. I found a huge stash of fish liver paste in his secret warehouse. Nothing hugely incriminating about that, of course, but I still took the trouble to open each and every package until finally, I had to concede that this really was just a huge stash of fish liver paste. But then, underneath the floor tiles, where the fish liver paste was stacked, I found a secret compartment with this torn-off research report lying inside.
So it was him who wanted to frame Ryuji all along. What a nasty piece of work.
Let's review the whole case from the top. First, Takatsukasa Isamu, for whatever reason, noticed Shiroyama's talent as a forensic doctor and asked him to develop a special poison on his behalf. But Shiroyama was already working for the Kujo clan, so he refused. Takatsukasa Isamu wasn't about to take no for an answer, and that's where things took a dark turn. He twisted Shiroyama's arm by making a veiled threat to harm his family. All Shiroyama could do was to secretly report everything to Kujo Takayuki. When Takayuki learned what was happening, he instructed Shiroyama to pretend to cooperate with Takatsukasa Isamu, then kill the latter with the white powder once it was fully developed. Meanwhile, Ryuji's only role in this case was to deliver the fish liver paste to Takatsukasa Isamu on Shiroyama's orders, completely unaware of the fact that he was being used as a pawn and that this was a key ingredient needed to create the poison. After the incident, Kujo Takayuki hoped to make Ryuji the fall guy, until the death sentence was stalled when it reached Madame Kujo Sara. In the meantime, Sango had begun her own investigation. Kujo Takayuki grew nervous that the truth would get out, so he threw Shiroyama to the wolves, hounding him to death and erasing all traces of contact between the two. And yet, he wanted to keep this secret formula, so he hid it. Greedy guy, that Takayuki. He must have wanted to have it on hand just in case he needed to employ it again in the future, and make someone else disappear.
This Kujo Takayuki is an evil lunatic! We've got to report this to A. Whatever his current punishment is, it needs to be 10 times worse!
That would be practically impossible. One research log found in his warehouse doesn't prove anything. Even I can think of 100 excuses. Besides, Ryuji directly contributed to Takatsukasa Isamu's death by delivering the fish liver paste to him. The fact that he was unaware of the true nature of the situation doesn't matter.
But he's still innocent, right? Isn't it just a coincidence? Paimon really doesn't get how the law works.
Legally speaking, the judge would most likely rule that it was accidental. But in practice, Ryuji may still have to end up shouldering some responsibility.
So basically, you've been hiding the truth all this time to protect Ryuji.
Mental trauma doesn't heal as easily as physical wounds. My biggest worry is that Ryuji would struggle to cope if he knew the truth. He's like an innocent child. He freely gives his trust and his love to everyone that treats him well. That's why he thought of Takatsukasa Isamu as a father figure. I'm pretty sure that to this day, he has never paused to wonder whether Takatsukasa Isamu was actually a good person, or if Sango just hired him as a gopher, or why I left the detective agency. If he found out the facts about Takatsukasa Isamu, I'm afraid it would crush him. Well, as you can see, I'm a little less confident than people might think. To prevent Ryuji from getting hurt, I covered up the truth. But by doing so, have I held him back? Did I do the right thing? I couldn't turn to anyone for help, and everyone around me thinks I'm so smart, that I should just be able to handle every case on my own. Even if I tried to discuss it with them, they'd just say, "Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Heizou, no problem's too difficult for you." But you're different. Unlike them, you don't have that kind of prejudice towards me. You've traveled far and wide and have had all kinds of experiences. It must have taught you a lot. Most importantly, my intuition tells me that you're someone special, that I can trust you and that you can help me. Right? So, I'd like you to be the one to decide whether we should expose the truth or not. Oh, you don't need to tell me what you decide, and you certainly don't need to decide right now. Let's just say I'm leaving this teensy-tiny matter up to you. All right, let's head back to the detective agency. You can mull it over on the way. Once you've made up your mind, just tell Ryuji and Sango your verdict.
These are all the snacks I have. Please let me grow up faster.
Come take a look.
Everything is going smoothly.
Hey, Traveler! Hey, Detective Heizou! You're back already, huh? I bet you're tired. Well, I just bought some tonkatsu. Care to join me? There's plenty for everyone.
We'd love to! But wouldn't you like to hear the results of our investigation first?
No matter what you were able to find, it's all in the past and won't ever change. So I think we'd better chow down first. Besides, if Sango's not happy with the results, we might not have anything to eat later.
Come on, Ryuji, pipe down. Let's hear the Traveler's conclusion first.
Okay then. Over to you, Heizou and Traveler.
Don't worry, just tell us your findings. Everyone trusts you, as do I.
But how? How could this be?
Huh. So, that's what really happened?
Ryuji, I know it's hard to accept, but...
Wait a minute. Sorry, I have quite the stomachache. Sango, can I take the day off?
Sure, of course. Take the week if you need it.
Oh, Paimon hopes Ryuji will be okay.
I didn't expect things to turn out like this.
Just give him some time to himself. I think he'll eventually come to accept it.
I'm still a little worried, though. What if he doesn't come to work tomorrow?
Then we'll go to him. Don't you worry about that, Sango. You need some time to process all of this, too.
I'm at a loss for words right now. Please, just leave me be. Ah, you're here. Don't worry, Ryuji came earlier this morning. I guess he can handle a lot more than I had thought. I was honestly worried he'd suffer a breakdown. But as of today, it seems he'll be fine. He went over to Natsuke Nogen Crafts to buy something.
Let's go find him then. Shall we?
Before you go, Heizou, I kind of understand now what you meant when you left.
Oh, really? I'm happy to hear you say that. All right, time to find Ryuji.
Wait, aren't you going to say Ryuji? Huh. Now that I think about it, it's like a slap in the face. He said some things will always be more important than the truth.
Look! There's Ryuji! With a little kid, too! Is he buying our toys? Uncle Ryuji, was my daddy handsome? I've never seen what he looked like.
Of course. Takatsukasa Isamu was a very handsome man. Also, it's not uncle. Call me brother.
But you look so old.
Well, I'm still your brother.
Huh? How come?
Because he treated me like a son.
Huh? Who are you guys?
We're friends with your big brother Ryuji, and with your father too.
Oh, really? Yay! I've met loads of my daddy's friends today. Can you tell me some stories about him? I really want to hear them.
Sure. Why, I know enough stories about your old man that if I started talking now, you'd be all grown up before I finished them.
Wow, that's amazing! Well, I don't want to grow up too soon then. Maybe when I'm 100. No, 200 years old. No, 300 years old. Yep, I'm gonna wait until I'm 300 years old before I become a grown-up, so that I can make sure I finish all the stories first.